Over in Europe, Paris Saint-Germain, a very good football team, has signed Lionel Messi, Sergio Ramos, and a bunch of other names I can't really get into right now because this is not a soccer channel. But anyways, what they're technically doing is building a super team. It's also what the Los Angeles Lakers and the NBA are doing when they got LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and now Russell Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony. They're building super teams. And in the realm of the NCAA and hockey, that is exactly what the University of Michigan is doing right now. And I'm telling you, this team, it's not fair. It's borderline illegal in my opinion, what these guys are doing, but I'm not going to stop anything because this is going to be some crazy hockey for the guys that are playing on this team. The development is just going to be insane. And I thought today, let's just go into just an explanation how this team is going to do and what to expect from these players that are going to make a huge impact for this squad. And I thought I'd talk about the players, first of all, that have been here for at least a couple years or are now entering their sophomore year. And we're going to start with the goalie, actually, which is Erik Portillo, a Swedish goalie who is Buffalo's third-round pick, I'm pretty sure, in 2019. He is a towering menace, 6'6", 225 pounds. And if you know anything about goalies that size, they just use it to their advantage. He's a very calm goalie. He doesn't really move a lot in the net, and when he has to, it's actually kind of pretty funny because it kind of catches him off guard. But he's huge, and he's probably going to play a starter role this year, or he's going to split it with Jack Levy, who is a 23-year-old goaltender. But if we keep moving forward in the realm of guys who are coming back for their second year, we got, of course, the first overall pick in the NHL Draft, Owen Power, who has basically just told Buffalo to screw off. You know, I think that's the smart idea. Give him some more time to think, get him some more time to fix up what they're going to do with Jack Eichel and all that stuff. And you know, I'm pretty sure he wants to see what he can actually do with another year in the NCAA here. I'm pretty sure he's going to put on an absolute show. Because if there's one thing he did with the Chicago Steel, and I don't think we got to see enough of it in the NCAA last year, he's got a pretty good shot. He had 12 goals with the Chicago Steel before joining Michigan last year, and obviously last year we still got to see, you know what, some pretty good goals of his, but I don't think he was focusing on it so much, focusing more on his two-way game and his playmaking, and obviously you already know those numbers are just going to skyrocket as well. There's nothing that's going to be stopping him. He's just going to be a threat everywhere on the ice. I would not be surprised if he is a point-per-game defenseman in his sophomore season. And then second overall pick, Matty Beniers. You already know what he's gonna do. I don't know if he's actually gonna like progress a ton, but the thing is his game is just gonna become so much more polished. He's definitely was the best two-way forward out of that entire 2021 draft class, and I think he's just gonna keep etching that in stone. I really don't think there's gonna be much of a difference to Beniers' game, except an even more of an increase in maturity if it's even possible. Definitely going to be probably another point-per-game player, though, and I think Seattle is going to have a lot of fun watching their first ever pick just shred up the NCAA. And then the same thing could be said about Kent Johnson. Boy, can it ever be said about Kent Johnson. If you knew what he did in Trail back in the day, back when he was in the BCHL, his second year in the BCHL was mental. 41 goals, triple-digit points. He's a freak. And you know what? I think this is a guy who can just completely go off. Like, I'm telling you, like 1.3, 1.4 points per game. Put him alongside Beniers. Put him alongside some of the guys that we're going to be talking about next. He's going to have a field day in the NCAA next year. And I think Columbus is just going to be having a laugh. They're going to be loving it. And along the lines of some other guys here, Thomas Bordeleu, he led the team in points last year. He's a San Jose Sharks prospect, second round pick, and obviously he's looking like he may have been a first already. His playmaking, his skating, just crazy. I don't know how much more of a jump he's going to have into next season, but with the guys surrounding him, I think he's naturally going to see a stat boost. But obviously his playmaking is what's going to make him a threat across the NCAA. And I think he's going to have a lot of assists on guys like Brisson, Beniers, and Johnson's goals. He's just going to be feeding them left, right, and center, doing what he's supposed to do, and also bringing some two-way game to the table. And then the same thing can be said about Brendan Brisson, because this guy, he's just good at everything. He's just another one of those jackknife, Swiss Army knife type of guys who really can just insert himself anywhere in the play and he's going to be effective. If you need a guy in your own zone, you need a guy in the offensive zone, you need someone to get the puck in, to get the puck out, he's going to do the job for you and he's going to do it pretty well. And then I have one more of the returnees, and it's actually John Beecher. And this is a guy who didn't really get to play a lot last year. He had to deal with a shoulder injury, he had to deal with COVID, so he only played 16 games. But he is a hulking menace, 6'3", 210 pounds. He's a big guy, man. And he's got to remember, he's a first-round pick. And I was never really upset with his skating. For a guy of his size, he was not a bad skater. And like, honestly, the one thing holding him back probably was offensive awareness, but he's not going to be a guy in the NHL who's putting up 50, 60 points anyways. He's going to be that guy in that depth role, maybe middle six, and he's just going to be a monster. He's just going to be bulldozing people. All those little guys in the NCAA, he's just going to show them what's up. He's not going to let them do anything. And now we get into some pretty more fun stuff here, because this is why this team is going to be absolutely mental for the next 2-3 years, depending on how long some of these guys stay. And then the first one is Luke Hughes, and I don't know if there's much I have to say about Luke Hughes. Everyone knows what Luke Hughes is capable of. He's the second Hughes brother to walk the blue line for Michigan in the last couple years, following his brother Quinn. And then honestly, I will not be surprised if he puts up similar numbers to his brother. I actually think he may be a little bit less offensively potent, and he's going to have to work on his defense a little bit. I think it's going to be a good wake-up call for him. Just get him ready for that professional hockey, that next step, because he's a guy who needs to work on his two-way game, but his offensive game brings so much to the table. He's going to have a fun freshman season ahead of him. And then Mackie Samoskevich, he was a Florida pick in the late first round. This is a guy, another Chicago Steel product, if anything here. And he was a guy, he just had the wheels. This guy had the stick handling, and he had the wheels, and he had the offensive mind. He was a guy that was so hard to knock off the puck with the steel. His footwork was just elegant, guys. And I think he is not going to bring a ton to the offensive table. He's going to be in a little bit more of a depth role for these guys. But trust me, Florida fans, I think in 1 to 2 years, you're going to be loving that you picked up this guy, because he is a complete maniac with the puck on his stick. And with his skating abilities, he's going to be one fun guy to watch. And then the one guy who, honestly, it really kind of shocked me how far he went down in the draft. And I'm talking about Dylan Duke. I actually had a pretty good reaction a couple weeks ago when he actually got drafted. I couldn't believe he slipped to the 4th round, slipped to triple digits. Like, come on. But someone had to be. There we go, finally. And he goes to Tampa Bay, of course. Tampa Bay, you have just snagged yourself a gem and a half. Finally. Holy that took too long. If there was one way to describe Dylan Duke, though, it's the garbage man. And I don't mean that in any offensive fashion at all. You need guys like this. Every goal this guy scores, right in the goal mouth. I love players that get into the dirty areas, and I say it a lot. I love players that get into dirty areas. I'll use that to explain a lot of guys. But I truly mean it with Dylan Duke. This guy thrives in the grime. This guy lives in the crease, and he just makes everyone's life a living hell. Every single point he gets, goals and assists, come from working in the crease. And I think he's going to be a great depth player for the Michigan team this upcoming season. Wow, I actually think we made it through the guys who are going to be playing this year. But then this is the thing, like these guys, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Because just next year, we have Adam Fantilli, who literally just committed. He just committed to playing for Michigan. You got Frank Nazar, who's playing with them next year. You got Hunter Brushevitz, who is a 2023 probable top 10 pick. And like, man, I don't even know how much better this team can get until you actually look into the year after, where Seamus Casey, a likable top 10 pick for this year's draft, is also going to be making his freshman debut into the NCAA for Michigan as well. Like, what? This team is stacked. They're stacked for years to come. And like, I don't even know if I'm missing anyone. Wait, hold on. I'm getting a phone call. No. Literally, right as I was making this video, I'm not even... Rutger McGroarty just committed to the Michigan Wolverines. Another top 10 pick for this year's draft. What? I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Michigan, if you lose a game, I don't know what to believe in anymore. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.